Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be going through the pruning of my 4 grapevines. It says the 19th of November and they approximately went in there of February of the same year, so they've been in the ground for about 9 months. I have 4 varieties, 2 red and 2 green, and it's time to start thinking of where they're going to be going on the trellis, and I've decided to go for a system after researching many YouTube videos, and because I've got the height here of poles that are about 7 feet high, I have decided to go for it or trial a system called the 4-arm niffin system. And that's basically where you've got a central trunk or 2 central trunks that divide into 2 sets of cordons, one on a lower wire going to the left and to the right, and then a higher wire again to the left and to the right. So the tools you'll need before you start any pruning and assembling. I don't have any alcohol, but so today I'll be using some white vine vinegar just to wipe down the secateurs in between pruning, an old rag or some paper toweling, my pruners or secateurs. I have sharpened these, you can see they're quite shiny, and what I will do is wipe them down with vinegar in between each of the 4 vines, just to make sure I'm not transferring any undisclosed or unforeseen disease or pests. Gloves and some twist ties, which I've used on my orchids, but I'm going to attach these to the wires just so they make things nice and sweet. The first variety I have here is a white ladyfinger, and it's done quite well, but the last couple of days, and I'm based in Perth, Western Australia, has been very wet and wild, so whilst these were attached to this initial line, they've now detached themselves, and so I need to decide where I'm going with this and what will be the outcome. So what I have here is 2 main shoots that have done the best as far as growth goes. They're almost a metre tall, and when I planted this back in February of this year, the plants were only so tall, and they've really done well. I've mulched them, I've fertilised them. I'm putting liquid fertiliser, alternating between a liquid fertiliser and some chicken manure, pulverised chicken manure, just to get them going. So I think what I'll decide is this one here, I'm probably going to run with this one as a main trunk and maybe a second main trunk, but what I need to do is to remove all this lower branches, one, so I can see what's going on, but secondly, I want the plant to put the growth or all its energy into the growth, rather than feeding these side shoots and just make the things a bit more spindly. So we shall do that, and then what I do is I remove the side shoots as well. So I probably want the plant to come out to about a height of about this high, where I'm going to have the first fruiting wire for my first cordon on this 4-arm niffin system. So let's go ahead and remove some of these lower branches. So I'm just going to get some vinegar onto the secateurs, give them a bit of a wipe over, just so I can ensure they are nice and clean and free of any bacteria. So it's turned out to be quite a nice day. It was only a maximum of 15 degrees Celsius yesterday, so it's turning out to be quite a nice day. So let's go through and remove these lower branches, cutting as close to the trunk as I can be. It seems a bit of a sorry to get rid of them, but I really do need to get the plant fruiting to where I need it to be. So we're just removing these lower branches as close to the trunk as I can get them. I can always come back and fix them up a bit later on. You This one here is another small one I can remove. There's 2 here. And I've seen a fellow YouTuber actually get in there with a Dremel tool, which was quite an interesting idea, and get in there and nice and tight and clean up those. But he was doing it in winter, which is probably a better way to go. But this is we're in the season of spring here, so there's another one there, nice and tight. And here again. Remove this one here. Clean up some of the foliage here. So you can see it's starting to open up. So this plant here, when I bought it, it was on 2 trunks. I'll bring that in a bit closer so you can see what's going on. But you can see this has basically got 2 trunks. So I think for this one, rather than have 1 central trunk, I'm going to actually go for 2 trunks, and it buys me a bit of insurance as well in case one of the trunks should fail later on. I've got a second one. So I think I'll continue with this. Seems to be one of the main stems here, and probably this one here. I don't think there's any. There's some younger growth here, or possibly this one here. So just, yeah, let's take this side shoot off. And this one here. And I want this one to be my main trunk, so we're going to be removing, let's just size these up against each other. So either one will do, but I think I like the look of this one here, so let's go with that one being that main arm there. And this one seems a bit thicker and healthier. You want them to be about a pencil thickness. So I think what I'll do is remove this side one here and stick with this one. So cutting these off. And it's quite brutal, as you can see, but you need to do it in order to get the growth happening in the right areas. Remove that back one. And so there you go. We've got 2 main trunks. So what I'm going to do now is tie them on with these soft ties. And the grapes have their own tendrils, so they will latch on as well. And this one here. And these are just soft twist ties. They got a, I'm not sure whether it's a copper wire or just a steel wire, but they're covered in quite a bit of plastic there, so they're flexible, reusable. Not necessarily environmentally friendly, but nevertheless they do the job. Let's just put this one behind and wrap it on. So that's looking a bit better. And let's remove some more of this lower growth. Some of these leaves. So we start to open up the plant a bit. One more here to remove. That's great. If you have any suggestions or comments, feel free to put them online. My next grape here is a flame seedless. It's a red variety. What I hadn't told you that these 4 varieties that I've chosen, the pruning that's been recommended to me from the manufacturer and by the Agricultural Department of Western Australia is spur pruning. So that's why I'm going to be letting it go onto a cordon rather than onto the cane pruning methodology. So just again wiping down the secateurs with some more vinegar and having a good look at this one. This one now has only got really 1 main trunk, I think, that goes up. So I really want to try and find out, and it's got a main lateral here, so I think I'm going to develop that one and remove these other branches like this. It's quite amazing how they attach themselves to the wire so early on in their existence. So let's just have a look at this. I might just need to remove some of this tie tape so I can see what's going on here. This is another quite a good product that you can find in your hardware. It's made of recycled materials. It stays on for a good couple of years through the seasons, which is not bad considering it gets to over 40 degrees Celsius in Perth. So here, you like to reuse those, and they're relatively cheap to buy as well. In a roll, I think it's about a 5 metre roll. So this one's got some like the ladyfinger has got some growth happening, some vertical. It's not the straightest of trunks, but you know it is the main trunk, so that's good. So we're going to continue to cut off these side branches. As close to the trunk as I can get them. It'll be interesting to see how much growth we do get now. You can see that that's looking great. This one, look at this one. This one's got some fruit, so as much as it hurts me to remove the fruit, I think I'm going to take them off. I really want the plant to put its energy into the growth of the plant rather than in this first season developing fruit. I have removed one from another plant already, but there was none on the ladyfinger, but there is on the flame seedless. So unfortunately, off it comes. That one there. That's great. That trunk now starting to develop into something which is what I needed. I'm just going to tie it back here for a bit of extra security. I'm not sure which one will be the leader out of these two, so I'll leave them on, and I'll just be monitoring them for the next couple of weeks to ensure that it's growing where I want it to grow. I can come back here and just give that a bit of a tidy up. Come a bit closer to the trunk as well, if I've missed it. And that's looking good as well. So there's the second one done. So this is a Talia. This variety here, you do quite often find the grapes available in the shops. And see, the dog's been very quiet today, which is nice. Usually he likes to bark and carry on. Just give those a bit of a wipe over again. So far, so good. Now this one's similar to the ladyfinger. I think it's got a couple of trunks. No, it's got one main trunk, but most of the growth is coming from this lower branch here. But unfortunately, I don't think I want that to be the main trunk, so I'm going to be removing this one. Get nice and close to the trunk. As you can see, that's quite a bit of growth there. That's what I'm removing. Okay, then what's happening here? This one looks a bit scrawny, so that's coming off. Really, out of this main trunk, the one that seems to be doing the best is this one here. So I might let this one develop into the main trunk. Although there is another, this one is veering off, so it does split here. So this two could be, I might leave this as two as well, which means one of these other ones, one of these other branches are going to be the main trunk that I'll be looking to leave on. Let's just... I did remove some fruit from this one as well, so both this one and the flame seedless had fruit. So this one here, let's take this one off. And what's happening? Branch, which will become one of the two trunks. That's that one. Take off this one, which is stuck its way on, and remove this one. And this side shoot here. There you go. So I'm leaving most of the original wood there. I suppose I could remove that and then come further up, but I think I do like the idea of having two main trunks rather than the one, because I am going to be developing four cordons or two sets of cordons, so it might actually pay to leave a couple of main trunks on in case I ever end up losing one. Just going to tie this guy on here for now, and this one here I think I'll put on with some more. So that looks good. That's the talia done, and one more variety to go, which is another red. So this is a seedless black variety called Black Maru seedless. It's not a variety that you find commercially grown, so I don't even know if I've tasted it myself, but it is on sale as a plant in many areas. This one here, it's not had the same growth as the other three varieties, so let's just see what's happening here. I'll start by removing some of these lower branches, because I really don't know what's happening lower on down here. There's a bit happening. So this one, unlike the other ones, has really just originally just the one main trunk. So I can either let this one develop into one of the trunks that will develop cordons from, or I can take it further up from this one here. Let's have a look. This one here I'm going to remove anyway, because it's either going to be to the right of this existing trunk, i.e. this one here, which will develop, or I'll come further up. Well, actually what I'll do is I'm going to remove this one here, and I'll let the plant grow a bit taller before I come off. Again, taking off some of these lower branches that really aren't contributing too much in this early stage. So there you go, I have the main trunk, and that's tied on, so I can leave that one in play at the moment. Let's just have a look what's going on a bit further up the plant. So I'm going to take this one off here, and the rest I think I'll just take this one off as well. Just let that develop further and I can see what's going on here. Being that I'm a novice to this, it's really difficult to know. And I don't, which is the best way to go, and I don't think there's any right and wrong, to be honest. Because I think they're pretty forgiving as a plant, so I'll just tie this lower trunk a bit further on the stake just to give it some extra support. Might retie this one's looking a bit loose. That's great, that's nice and secure. That's great, so I'll see what's happening here in about a month's time, then I'll make a decision as to which way I'm going to be going with this one. Yeah, so that really concludes this video, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have any comments or suggestions, some advice, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.